Hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Thank you for joining me once again. Today I'm in the Peak District, right at the southern end of the Peak District. I'm doing a walk called High Tor, which is just between Matlock, Bath and Cromford. I caught the train this morning to Matlock and I've just walked out of the town of Matlock and found a path onto High Tor, which I'm walking up now. It's not the actual start of the route, that's further down at Matlock Bath train station. What I'm actually going to do is start the walk here where I can get up to High Tor, walk around High Tor and then drop back down towards Matlock Bath and then head from there to Cromford, where I want to go and see Cromford Mills a little bit later today. Hopefully that's the plan anyway. It's autumn and the weather is absolutely fantastic. The colours have really popped in the last few days, week or so. But also there's a little bit of mist in the air, and I think as I get a little bit higher up onto the top of High Tor, I'm going to find the valley here where the River Derwent cuts through the middle of the landscape is going to give me some absolutely fantastic images of that mistiness with the beautiful colours of the autumn leaves that have already popped, and that's going to give me some separation as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get some decent images here. Anyway, I'm going to make my way up this hill here towards High Tor. I mentioned that I'm in the Peak District today. This kind of is the very southern end of the Peak District. It's better known as the Derbyshire Dales, and it's right where the Peak District and the Dales kind of merge into one. So we've got lots of dales and tors around here, and I'm on High Tor, which is one of those. We've also got quite a lot of tors further up, further north in the Peak District proper, a few of which I've been up. I've got to remind you, I don't know if you saw my video from a few weeks back from Mam Tor and Back Tor. So that's quite an interesting one. That's slightly further north of here. You go up as far as Sheffield and then you kind of come back across on yourself towards the Peak District. You're kind of right in the middle of the Peak District there. But here I'm right on the very southern edge of it. I've stopped here because there's a viewing platform and it means I can stop and catch my breath for a start. But also I've noticed there's a creamy looking house just in the distance there. You can see all this mist all around, and then you've got these beautiful trees which are, all the leaves are turning and you can see the colours changing pretty much almost in front of your eyes, quite honestly. It is autumn and this is the perfect conditions really for autumnal landscape photography. I'm going to stop here and take a shot of that house there in front of me and these beautiful trees here with the beautiful colours turning on them. I'll probably use the long lens for this, 100 to 400, and I think I'll probably zoom into about 135mm, maybe 100mm. We'll see what it looks like on the camera when I get the lens out. So I hope you like this image. Well, that was a bit awkward. At 100mm, I felt like the crop was just ever so slightly too tight. I took the photo anyway because I like the image, I like the scene, but like I say, I think it was slightly too tight at 100mm. So what I did, I took out my 14 to 35mm lens and took a photo with that as well. Now, the 35mm, it looked as though it was a bit too far away, so the crop was too large really, but it doesn't really do anything for the image. So what I could do is actually use the 35mm image instead and crop into that, and that's one of the benefits of having a high megapixel camera such as the Canon EOS R8 to take photos like that. Because the scene was slightly too wide on a 35mm focal distance, what I can do now is crop in and hopefully that'll look pretty decent. But I'm not sure whether I'm going to show you the 35mm image or the 100mm image. I'll decide that when I have a look at them on the computer at home. So you've seen the image already by now. I'm going to move on. So I'm up on what I think is the summit of High Tor right now. It's quite scary up here. Just behind me there's a sheer drop. I don't know how well you can see that. There's a sheer drop just there. And below me you've got the main road that runs between Matlock and Cromford. And there's just literally a sheer drop from here down to the main road. I don't want to get too close to the edge for that reason, but I've noticed there's a few houses, I can just see them just there, there's a few houses that look really, really nice at 28mm from where I'm standing. So I took the 14 to 35mm lens off the RP, put it on the R8 and took a photo of those houses, and you get a beautiful shot of the houses and all the colourful trees just behind them and some of the mistiness coming through that little bit of woodland. I really, really like it. So I took that photo, but also while I'm standing here, a little bit further over my shoulder, there's a cable car ride that goes up the side of the hill just across the way there. And that goes up to a place called the Heights of Abraham. And I had considered going up there myself, but I'm not sure how much the tickets are, whether you have to book. And I don't know how long it will take me to get from here to Cromford and back again to try and get the cable car. But I thought there was an interesting image there with the cable cars as they're going up the hill. And I've tried to get a few shots of the cable cars passing, but I can't get a fast enough shutter speed to really stop those cable cars as they're moving. But every now and then they stop as they're approaching one another. There's a little bit of a bend in the rise, and they stop every now and then to let one another pass. So you get just a few moments every now and then where there's no movement in those cable cars. So I've tried to time it perfectly to see if I can get an image of those. And there's also a lovely bit of colour over there just on the edge of the hill as they go up the rise. So hopefully you like those images. I'm going to move on now and head towards Cromford. I had to stop here and capture this scene. Look at the beautiful colours running through there. That's quite an amazing scene, isn't it? I'm walking down this path, down the hill towards the main road to head towards Cromford. I'm only about 5 minutes from High Tor, and I've literally just walked down here, turned round a bend and suddenly found this scene in front of me. Look at all these beautiful golden orange leaves on the ground here running along this path. And then you've got all these beautiful golden yellows and greens still on the trees. It's perfect, really. So I've stopped here to take a shot of this. I thought at first it might look good as a portrait, but I've tried that, it doesn't really work. So I've shot it as a landscape orientation, and it's beautiful. Again, I might be able to crop in just to remove a little bit of the edges because it's not perfect, but the colours are perfect. I just think it was an ideal composition to capture the autumn colours. So I hope you like that one. I'm going to keep moving now. So this apparently is the Heights of Abraham behind me. It's a cable car tour, and I've just looked at the prices online, how much it is to go up in a cable car. £26. So I won't be doing that today. It's only a few minutes up the hill, but you've just seen the cable cars coming down as well, so I'm just going to move on now and see if I can find something to shoot before I get to Cromford. So I've just walked through Matlock Bath, little village just south of Matlock itself. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm in Matlock Bath at the moment, and I'm walking along a path, and there's a bridge across the river, back over the River Derwent, which basically signposted me back over the bridge. But everything is so well signposted around here. There was another signpost on that post pointing along the path that I've just walked along, and it simply said on the path, the Cascades. I think I found them. I don't know how well you can see it. Just over the river somewhere there. I'll get a little bit closer and try and take a shot of that. Well, that's really interesting, isn't it? So that there in front of me is the cascades in question. I can't really get any closer than this, obviously because I'll be in the water, but I'm going to get the long lens out and take a photo of that. I don't know if it looks any good at 35mm as well, so I'll try that one out as well. Making my way back to that footbridge back over the river. Now, I took a couple of photos of those cascades just there, but just beyond that the footpath is closed off. There's a gate across it and the gate's locked, so I can't get through any further if I wanted to carry on along this footpath here. I would imagine that's something to do with the depth of the river and the fast flowing water at this time of year, so it's probably just a safety precaution, but it does mean that I've got to cross this bridge just in front of me and get back onto the main road to walk towards Cromford. So this is Cromford Mill, where I finished my journey. You can see the mill building there behind me. I walked past Masson Mill just a few hundred yards up the road. That is a cotton mill museum right now, and again that's an extortionate price to get in. When I looked at the price, I thought I'm not going in there, just have a look around Cotton Mill. It's a nice building, but that's a heritage building of course, and this here is a heritage building as well, but this seems to be free to get in. So there's a canal here as well, so I'm going to just have a quick wander around here at the mill, take a few photos of the mill building itself, and then I'm going to go and find a pub and have my lunch. I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog. I've enjoyed visiting High Tor and also finding that hidden waterfall that I didn't know anything about. So that was quite an adventure. The walk down here from the waterfall to Cromford Mills has taken me about 35 minutes, which isn't too bad. I expected it to be about that anyway. So yeah, that's the end of the walk. Hope you enjoyed today's vlog. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and also please remember to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And I look forward to seeing you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.